by the linesmith on how to mount new lines to your Duotone Clickbar. This is the 2026 model, but it will also work for older models. Let's get started. I will show you the parts that are already come with the bar. So that's the safety line ring, this small ring which is sitting on the lower side of the safety line where you can actually see, and then you have this cap which goes on top here. So you have three parts which are already coming from the bar, from the Duotone bar, and then you will also have this part if you have the newer bars from 2023 up, and we are going to work with that one. If you don't have it, it's no problem. Then you will have a small ring which pretty much does the same thing. But yeah, for now, let's work with this one. And I would recommend you to also have a piece of wire or some floss, some dental floss. I have some kite line here. You can also use your old kite line, but let's get started. Of course, you have the bar, you will also need the new lines. So we have the linesmith, the line system, that's what we are working with today. So you have the upper front, which will replace the main middle lines and then the front. Then you also have the lower front, which are the white lines, which will replace your red and your gray. And then also the rear lines, which will replace the steering lines. So we will be working with the line system today. Let's get started. We start with package number 1. This is the most complicated one, and that is the safety line and the lower front power line. So let's get started with that. Unpack this one. So I'm gonna unpack them and then we go. All right, so I've zoomed in a little bit. I've unrolled the lower front line packet. Now I'm away from the bar normally, and then you are left with a black and a white line. So the white line is going to be your safety line in this case, and the black line is going to be the one that is connected to the, let's say, the power line, which is coming from the bar. So we're going to work with the black for now, and let's get that going. Okay, I'll put that there, and then I will move a little bit down to the ring, and you will find this blue ring, or it can be black, but it's a special part which is specifically been made by us, by the linesmith, and it will reduce a lot of friction to the high V point. So now you see they are connected like this. We are going to disconnect it by pushing them apart and then pulling out the black line. Then we are going to take the ring off, and we are going to take this black line off. So you're left with a new white line, a small black one, which we will put aside for now because we don't need it. We will put the ring aside for now as well. And then we are left with one shorter white line. That's the one we are going to use right now. And then you will grab your part. This part comes from a 2026 Clickbar, but you can have another one, or you can't have it at all if you have an older Clickbar. It is no problem. Now, when you have this part, work with the D, with the Duotone logo upward. So we are going to work with it like that, and we are going to connect it right here. So this is the area we are going to work with. Then you see two holes, and we are going to work with the one which is on the opening side. So there's one opening, and we are going to fit it in from the bottom side. So make sure you have it upright. Then from the bottom side, you push it in, and then you're left with something like this. Now we are going to open that loop a little bit, and then we are going to get this white line. We are going to open it. We're going to go over this gray one. So it's just over. I didn't do anything special, just over. Then open the loop, and then we are going to put the line inside of the gray line hole. That one is coming from the bottom side, from your click bar, and then you're gonna pull up. So then we are going to get all that line through. Until you're left with a not loop-to-loop connection right here. Now, when you have that, you've done it correctly. Then you take the other end and going to go up from the bottom side where that knot is, up into that upper hole. It's the same hole, same side, so let's go up. If you can't fiddle it in, then I would recommend using some wire or some kite line or something else. Now I got it in, so that was easy. Now just pull up until it reaches the end. There we go, all the way up until you're left with a knot with a loop-to-loop connection right there, which holds this part. So it's fairly easy. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can see it even better. So the loop-to-loop connection is there, coming from the gray line, coming from the bottom, then going into the white, going up. And then let's zoom out a little bit again. We are going to go all the way back to that first part, and that will be this higher loop. So that's like 5 meters away from the bar. Then we are going to take this black line, which you disconnected, and also this blue ring, which you already took off. It can be black as well, but with this one, it's blue. So we're gonna go first with the gray line or black line over the white. So like that. Then we are going to add the small side, very important, the small side over that loop as well. So you have like two things going over it. Then you are going to fold this back into the loop of the white line, or take the other end of the line, will work as well, and then pull it all through. Then pull up, and it's a loop-to-loop connection with that ring in between. So really simple and easy. So that's the one for your front line. That's the lower front line of one side done. That was quite easy. Now let's get started to the safety line, which will definitely be a bit harder, especially on used bars. But let me help you and tell you how to do it super fast and super easy. So what's very important is that you check where the safety line starts and where it finishes. So this red sleeve indicates I'm at the end of the line. So this should be at the top where the black line starts. The blue ring will rub on this red line. And then there's a stopper ball, which also indicates I'm at the top of the line. So I need the other end, and I'm gonna use that right now. So I'm gonna take the line all the way until I get the correct side, I should say. Then the first step, what I will do is either try to fill this in from the top into that other hole and then go inside. Or what I can also do is first put in some kite line or some wire or some dental floss or whatever you want that will fit into that hole. Now I'm going to work and push it in from the top, probably the easiest way. This bar is new, so it should be quite easy to get it through. But yeah, if it is not, then just try again. So mine came out at the bottom side. It's just a piece of kite line, nothing special. And then I will get the kite line itself. So now make sure you do not forget to put it through this hole. And let me zoom in for you again. So don't forget to go in here, otherwise you have to do it again, which is annoying. So we're going in. Then I'm going to connect just by a simple knot into here. The flatter, the better. So a small knot is much easier to pull through. If you have a too thick wire, you won't get it in, but it's a very simple knot. Then I'm just gonna pull it in by using some force. So I'm now at the bottom side, the quick release side, and then I'll just pull it in by pulling the line, and then there it goes. So now it came out the other end. I just disconnect the line. Let me zoom out a little bit for you guys. So I just can disconnect this line. And then we are going to continue with the safety ring. And that is the three other parts which I showed you in the beginning. That is those three parts. So the first thing you have to put over is this ring. And this ring has this side up. So make sure that one goes upward. So first that one. Then we have to work in the big hole, by the way, very important, the big hole. So this hole, work in that. And then we are going to push this in, this black cap. And then the third one is slightly more complicated. So let me zoom in for you again. And then that's this part. So you're gonna go in to one of the sides like that. So it's just hanging there into one side. Then you're gonna fold it back into the other side. So it's like a U. And then when you are done with that, you are going to take the loop of the line and you're going to fold that over everything on both sides. So we're going to go sides over and then you're going to pull up on the ring. So it's locked on that metal bar, as you can see here. And then you are done with the lower lines. Now that was fairly easy. And let me show you how it looks over here. So that's all set. You can see first the ring, then this black thing, and then this metal with the bar. Make 100% sure that you are not working in this small loop, because then it doesn't work, because then the line is crooked like that, and then the rotation doesn't work anymore. So the auto untwist jams at some point, probably breaks the line at some point. So make sure to work in the big hole. I won't repeat it again, but now you know. All right, so let's keep going and connect the next package, which is going to be the upper front lines, which is the black packet. I've already unrolled it, but you can do it right now. And then we'll continue with mounting those lines to the lower front lines. All right, so I've just put the lines here. This is the 5 meters away from your bar to 8 meters away from the bar. Then you have unrolled the second packet, which is both black lines, both of the black fronts, which are the upper front ones. We are going to connect them one at a time to the lower front, which is super easy and super simple. You've probably done it and you've probably guessed it. You are going to go, this is the one coming from the bottom, this is the new one. So we're going to go over and then we are going to force that in, or you can take the line end. I'm just going to pull everything through, which is slightly longer, but it's fine. And then I'm going to have the front lines connected, so you can also take the line end which is far away and then just walk that into that loop. So that one is done. That's one loop to loop connection again, as you can see here. And now we are going to do the same with the white line, which is your safety line. It doesn't matter because there's no left and right at this line. So we are going to go the same over and then in. And then you pull everything through until you reach the end. And then you are finished with your front lines. That's it. Also loop to loop connection. That's locked. And that's it. So this is done and your front lines are now complete. So let's get started with the last package, which is going to be the steering lines. Those are the most simple ones. So let's just unroll them and get started with mounting them to the bar. All right, so I've unrolled the lines. We are going to work with the sleeved side at the bar side. And those are going to be connected to your leader lines, which are already coming from the bar. Now you can already see it's color coded, blue on the right and red on the left. So let's go and do the exact same thing that you've already done a couple times right now, which is going to go over and then in, and then take the line end or take the line through and just keep pulling until you reach the end, and then you will be done with one line. So this is very simple. This is not complex at all. I'm just making a big mess here, but for you guys it helps you to mount your lines. Of course you're doing it outside because you have more space and you won't tangle your lines, which I'm doing right now, as you can see. That's it. So loop to loop connection, that one is done. Now we're doing the same with the other line and we're going to go over and then go inside and then pull the entire line through. That is the way to do it when you're indoors. but you will be able to get a big mess of lines, which I have here. I hope for you guys you're still outside, have much more space. So you can also take the line end and just push it in and then walk. That's maybe even the faster way. So yeah. So that was finished. Loop to loop connection is locked. So this one is done as well. So actually we are done with mounting the lines. The only thing you have to do is connect your pigtails, and then you are really done. So yeah, let's go and let me show you what it looks like right now. So we have 2 leader lines with the lines connected right and left. Let me hold them the right way around, left and right, right and left. So that's it. And then we have the 2 front lines which are coming out from here. Now, what is very important is that you wax your lines to make the lifespan of your lines become a lot longer. So we have introduced glide stick, which you can get in our shop, which you probably already got with your order. And this will make sure that your lines will stay in a better shape for much longer. The abrasion will be a lot less. So use glide stick, especially on the red area, on the white sleeve, where that fee distributor is. So we are finished. Thank you for watching this tutorial from the Linesmith on how to mount lines to your Duotone Clickbars. If you don't have the Linesmith lines yet, go to www.thelinesmith.eu and get your lines ready. And also make sure to add some glide stick. Yo!